$8. And that was going with, there's many things on here. So there were very cost-effective things like cough drops, you know, putting like 10 cough drops in each bag and stuff like that. That was like no-brainer. And then there was more expensive things like hand sanitizer and stuff. And so I thought maybe we could get an idea of what the church budget is and what other people wanted to contribute, and then kind of knock it down, you know, maybe take some certain things off to kind of get it to a certain amount and stuff. And so I can make copies of these, and then you can look at them.
Yeah, let's do that. Do we?
So on that list, do we have, or how are we distributing them? Are we putting them in large paper bags, or are we getting little backpacks for them? What are we doing as far as handing them out?
So that's a good question. Are we streaming this or something?
Yes.
So, right.
No, that was something that Tara mentioned after I made that, getting those, and I don't know what the cost is on those.
So I've seen it where people put them in big Ziploc bags. That's one option, which would be pretty, you know, maybe $10. Maybe less because 50, I mean, that's not a whole lot. But the other thing was I went on Amazon and looked at those little drawstring bags that, you know, like sports, like the boys have them for their sports. And I think it was like 48 for $38. So I was leaning towards that if we could swing it. Yeah, because a plastic bag's going to rip. It's, you know, not, it's going to be stuffed super full and. Yeah, so Tricia was saying maybe do both to insulate it so that it, but and I think it's water resistant, those bags. They seem like they're, I don't know. Usually they are, so.
If it pours down rain or it's in the lake, it probably, but you know.
We'll be glad we did a Ziploc bag
Yeah.
then. Yeah, so I was, I thought it would be a good idea. The only thing is that it's a variety pack, so there's like purple and pink in it, and I don't know, I think it's mostly boys, but maybe they don't care.
Another question I had was whether or not we had thought about, I mean, I haven't heard it come up, are we putting any tracks or anything in it?
Are we putting any tracks or anything in it?
Well, I found a website where you can get paperback Bibles for $1.59 each. Or there's these 2x2, 2x2.5, and they're called the Red Bible, I think. And I bookmarked the website because they're 12 cents a piece. You can get 150 for $25.
So,
I really like it.
yeah, so are they kind of like the Gideon size Bibles, or are they even smaller? Because so little Bibles for about 12 cents, or you could get a full paperback for $1. What'd you say? $1. $1.39. And
My concern about the little one is the print's going to be really small.
yeah, well,
I mean, you know.
yeah, and I think when Joe gets back down here, we might ask him, because I know I kind of jumped into this halfway through the meeting, and I didn't know what all was going on, so I'm not, you know, the most informed. But I think one of the things he had shared with. Okay, so anybody knows any more, just say it. But he had said that he has a friend that has ministry to the homeless is one of his, you know, things that he. Do you know anything, Jonathan? Okay. Thank you, Jonathan. But anyway, I think he was saying that he likes to give out, he has his own copies of Bibles and Jesus Callings, that he wanted to come here when we did this and hand them out. So when Joe gets back, let's remember to ask him, because if that's the case, then we wouldn't need to add another Bible to that. And it would be. Yeah. Oh, for sure. I agree. That should, if that wasn't something he was going to do, I think we should definitely look into some sort of, you know. But I agree with you about the tininess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing I was thinking about. God, it's going to be so hard to read.
Right.
And so I'm thinking, well, okay.
Trying to read it in the tent or whatever, however.
Yes, yes. And that, yeah, mm-hmm.
I wish they were this size. I wish they were Gideon Bible size. I mean, that would be awesome.
Oh, there's
And-
resources for those in this town too.
Yeah, and I wonder, and you're probably saying what I was gonna say, is that I wonder if we could connect with some Gideons, and if nothing else, get it at cost from them.
John Tittman.
John Tittman, okay, yeah. So when Joe gets back down here, we'll just check on that and see if it's already taken care of or not, so. That's right. I read that this morning and I sent it out. Literally. Oh,
Other thing
Mom.
well, just as a suggestion, the other thing I was thinking of is, I know in the meeting, somebody had mentioned like making labels, put them on the water bottles or whatever. And I'm thinking, very, very cost effective is possibly coming up with like a label that could be put on the goodie bags or the lunch bags or something, maybe a Bible verse, maybe a message from Southside, something to personalize it or something. But it could be done on the computer, printed out, just stick them on there. Very cost effective,
Yeah, I would think changing it up, because before we weren't having anything like they were taking home. So that was, kind of an idea of giving them something to take with them. But I think now that we're changing that, I think there's cheaper options for labeling or putting a message.
Oh, well, I'm just thinking labels are like nothing.
Oh, what?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm saying what you said is right. We're agreeing,
Oh, I thought you were
everyone.
saying it was gonna be accepted.
No, the other option.
That would be in place of putting something in the bag, like tracks and stuff, right?
No,
In addition to that, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think, does any,
Because no matter what
Should
they
we have
do,
somebody
what's
making
inside,
notes?
They can always read that.
Right.
is there like a Matthew Allard? Yeah, yeah, well, let's think about this. Trisha or Matt? Who do we,
Any other questions, go to the 8 ball.
On where it says option 2, that's just basically going for getting this variety hygiene pack, getting 2 of those and eliminating the toothpaste and the toothbrush. So it's taking those 2 out and just getting 2 of those instead, so.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Oh, we're on the Amazon list. It has option 2, and that means just like getting 2 of those versus getting all the toothpaste and toothbrushes, because it has a toothpaste and a toothbrush in it.
it's a kit versus buying it separately?
Includes a comb and
Shampoo and soap.
shampoo and soap.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that option too.
Because I don't know about, I've not been on the street, I've been homeless, but when you go camping, I would rather have everything right there. So that it's convenient, so that I don't have to look around for it, and it gets lost with other stuff. I mean, it would be better to have it all inclusive.
Yeah, and I think the idea was it would all be together, whatever we decide to do. But this would just give it, you'd get a comb and you'd get a bar of soap in addition, am I right? The toothbrush doesn't look as nice.
Yeah, the toothpaste, or the toothbrush is a little cheaper than these other ones. The other benefit to the toothbrush and toothpaste separately is there's a lot more, and so you can almost put 2 in every bag or whatever, So it's just kind of up to,
That's true, yeah.
Is there any kind of hand wash wipes in there?
There's, in the other shopping cart, which is, and again, I have to do more research to see if we can get it cheaper, but at Walmart, and they seem to be running just under $1 a piece for any hand sanitizer you're getting, unless you get those little open packets, and there's like 1 or 2 in there, and I don't know, you'd have to give out more than 1 of them, and They're a little more cost effective, but I don't know if they're that practical for, you know, I mean, you wouldn't get very many applications for it versus the gel you could probably use for quite a while without. Sorry.
Mom.
Sure. So as far as what we have to decide, we just need to decide on an option here. And then the next steps is probably, what are you guys saying are the next steps after that?
So maybe the first step would be kind of deciding a budget,
Yeah, a budget, yeah.
figuring out.
Yeah, if anybody's gonna go in with these.
Yeah, and I know that we're gonna have, basically everybody who's responded from the leadership has already pre-approved a pre-budget of $300. And so, if people give, then it'll refill some of that in and stuff. But, that way we had something to be like, we can just do that, and we do need to kind of, I just need to get that pushed through a little differently. I realize we just need to do a meeting in person or do something, because not everybody responded, but it's pretty much for sure a yes, like, it'll happen, I just have to do some things to get that finalized, so.
Yeah, so if you got everything on these lists, and even like Shara's bags, what were you saying, $38 for? $38. Yeah, it would be like $300, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
So if we just like divided that by the number of people that are involved, and then, that kind of gives you a ballpark, and if you can give that amount,
yeah,
Yeah. that would be
yeah,
good.
absolutely.
I'm into that, but.
Yeah,
L-
I am too.
Like sponsoring a bag or something, or
No,
How many people are involved in
Right.
writing and finding?
Yeah, just like if there are 10 people, we all give $30, you
Yeah.
go, you got it.
oh, got it.
Really simple, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
willing to do that.
And then we wouldn't
Yeah.
deplete the church funds as much either, so.
Right.
And I'm more than happy to do that.
I'm in favor of this.
yep, me too.
Yeah, so.
What about you,
okay, so-
Jonathan? What did you sign up for? Give us your money.
I don't know what decisions need to be made before I figure that out.
What would the inspiration box say? What would Joel say?
From the 90s inspirational box? Is
No,
that?
no, this is a Joel Osteen thing he got recently.
This is a red herring.
Yeah, it's a joke. Anyway, so, okay, so I think the money's not gonna be a problem. I think we can just move forward and make purchases based on $300 without, I don't think there's any concern there. We will try to kind of finish, yeah.
So, Mom, correct me if I'm wrong. The $300 is only for the blessing bags.
Right, yeah.
So
And
this
then
doesn't
the meal
include
food
the
is
meal.
also for the store. Yeah, which is minimal too, probably just, yeah.
So do we need to talk about the food then now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that.
And,
Sure.
I was gonna try to call around like, Fred Meyer, Safeway, Winco maybe, and see if I can get a turkey or two free, you know, so, oh, at the Safeway on Philomath? Or no? Oh, on Third Street, okay, I'll call. Okay, yeah, that would be great. Yeah, and, I think my husband can make something pumpkin related, cause we got pumpkins and he goes pumpkin crazy this time of year. So whether it be pumpkin cupcakes or pumpkin bars or whatever's easiest to kinda wrap up and, you know, do, and,
If there's anything you need to say to notes, then go ahead. I was just recording it so Jen could make notes later,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And then, does anybody have any suggestions as far as like, if we do turkey and slice it up, say we get together so many people and they all make a turkey and slice it and everything so that sandwiches can be made, whether or not it's going to be purchasing like sandwich rolls or make more like roads, more homey kind of thing, and put turkey on them, or what kind of bread stuff, or does anybody have any suggestions in that way?
Well, I think rolls are convenient.
Rolls.
Yeah, you know, like, what are they called, those big things?
Yeah, what are those ones that you get at Costco that you like so much? Are they from Costco or Trader Joe's?
Rolls?
The
Oh,
ones that you make those
hot dog?
sandwiches out of.
The hot dog buns? Oh, no, the hoagie rolls.
Hold on. Just before that sounds too ridiculous, there is the.
Trader
hot
Joe's
dog-
hot dog
hot
buns are
at Trader Joe's
delish.
Are like homemade bread.
Yeah.
They're like next level. It's like, it's.
But you're talking about the hoagie
No,
rolls.
talking
I'm
about the
sorry.
bigger ones
Yeah.
that you like that you get from Costco, I think.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was wondering about, that would be a little bit more substantial, but still
Uh-huh.
probably a
We
reasonable
wouldn't have
cost.
to make as
Yeah.
many, because I was thinking if we did roads rolls, we'd have to probably put 2 in a baggie, because they're just, and at least if we got, I don't know, like that, it
If
would
you
be,
got this, it'd already be substantial and you just do one and done.
Yeah.
It's just instead of,
yeah.
and they're real good quality.
My next question is, are you gonna give packets of mustard and mayonnaise, or are you gonna put it on there?
Oh.
No, I don't think we could put it on there, and some people don't like mayo, and some people don't like
And
mayo.
it'd be
Yeah, so
soggy.
packets is a good idea.
Yeah, packets or even just
So,
having it with nothing.
Are
know,
you
with-
taking notes of a menu? Do you want to write down?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sandy, if you want to make
I
any
kinda
notes on
already,
them,
have.
but she probably already has it.
So,
Does Alice have a restaurant store where you go to buy stuff in bulk? I don't.
Well, the closest cash and carry is Salem. It's not called, it's now called, what is that? I know the name, but anyway, but we could go there.
Go there if necessary.
Cause you can
Yeah.
buy packets and stuff like that.
There's one in Eugene, yeah. Yeah.
You can buy packets of ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, places like that.
Mm.
Yeah, Costco too, I believe.
It's called Smart Something or Food Service Warehouse. I can't remember the name of it now, but it's cash and carry.
I'm willing to make that trip if it's necessary.
okay. And we'd have to think about, is it worth the gas money to save how much?
Right.
On,
Exactly, or even the bread store.
Volunteering myself to,
Not a lot
Oh.
of gas if it goes in this Jetta.
yeah.
Costco's pretty good.
Yeah.
He got a lot of packets
Costco's
right
pretty
there, man.
cost-effective.
So if we do turkey sandwiches, and some sort of pumpkin dessert, or I know Sherry was saying some people don't like pumpkin, so having another option of a dessert, cookies, yeah.
Or, you know, some
Ginger,
candy or something. I mean, because I know that,
gluten-free gingerbread cookie.
Oh,
I'm not trying to generalize, but if you are an addict or you are homeless, sugar is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it makes you feel better, and your body craves it. And so cookies or
something
something,
sweet.
candy, whatever, to put in there. I think sometimes it's a real treat because we go back to our childhood where get candy, and so, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe planning on doing pumpkin bars and then cookies, because homemade I think is probably nicer than candies, yeah.
We could just stick some candy bars in there, and then people have them for whatever they want them.
Maybe in
Right.
the
I like
blessing bag
idea
or
of
something.
everything being like prepackaged and whatever. So they don't have to worry that, oh, who's been handling it or whatever,
Oh, everyone's talking all.
So are you asking if somebody like to?
Oh,
share?
no, he was saying to make sure people talk into the microphone.
Yes. Yeah. if you
Oh,
get
just
close,
point it?
yeah.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
It doesn't have to be right there, it just has to be close.
Okay, I'll sit here. Okay.
Our one person watching might do this now.
Oh, our one person watching. Hello, whoever you are.
Do we want to go with just water bottles in the bags? Kind of make it simple and just,
Well, with the apple cider stuff, I was thinking, do they have access to hot water to do that with? Or, because I know there's packets that you get.
It's possible that in the shelter that they have access to something like that, but I don't know.
And then there's juice boxes too, that's an option, but that might be a little more spendy.
Actually not by the time you pay for the 10 cents per bottle of water.
Yeah, that's true.
I like the idea of water.
Juice
Yeah,
boxes.
in addition.
Yeah.
It's more universal, I guess.
Plus it's not flavored.
Would people be coming, are we still thinking that people would be coming through, like, by the back overhang to get these things?
Or the front.
We're talking about taking them out, but are we doing both, or are we doing only one?
Delivering has challenges, I think, because it's not just the cars, it's not so much that, it's that I think we're limited. We're limited by there are certain regulations they have at the men's shelter of what you can deliver there and do all that. And so, I can check into more of that, but I think I seem to remember something about that. Did you say anything about that?
Just the impression that I got was the men's shelter would be willing to advertise that we are giving away food, but especially if we're going to be giving away a lot of other stuff, like Bibles or something, that could present challenges on site for them. Whereas if we did it here and had invited people to come here, then we can kind of do whatever we want. And it's
Isn't
also
there
with the
food
food preparation
regulations
as
too,
well,
or-
right? Yeah.
Yeah, so even just delivering food over there, I think there's issues with it, so.
And
But
I
we could check.
personally wouldn't be able to deliver because I have to,
Yeah.
I take care of my mom and I have to watch.
Right, right, and I would expect that not everybody here could help deliver. It would probably be just select people, yeah. Yeah, you'd be willing to, yeah. Yeah, I'm willing to as well, yeah. I think we just need a few people to deliver. It wouldn't have to be everybody by any means.
In my experience, it should be done in pairs, no matter what.
Sure. Yeah, good idea to do things in pairs.
Always. People get angry for whatever reason, it's best to be in pairs.
Yeah, absolutely. No, just good idea to do that anyway. So that's good. So I guess just asking,
Oh, just before we forget, so we had some discussion about adding Bibles and different things into the blessing bag. But I had mentioned how you had said that your friend likes to give out Bibles and Jesus callings.
yeah,
Is that so is that covered?
I haven't talked to them because things kept changing. So I'm just waiting to get an idea of what do I tell them. But
Okay.
yes, I'm sure he's willing to come and do that once we know.
But he has resources available to do
Yeah,
that.
I think so.
Okay.
Because I had sent you an email about these packets, they're 2x2 little Bibles, and it says the Red Bible, and it gives a list of all those books that are in it, and there's a lot.
Okay,
But the writing's probably really small,
yeah.
but you can get 150 of them for $25.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's why I brought it up, that
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, some sort of something like that is pretty important.
Sure, sure. So yeah, I think one way or the other we'll have. Yeah, and I can talk with whatever we do. I can help with the handing out some. I can handle the piece if you guys want of finding something spiritually encouraging. I'll talk. Obviously, my friend Brett Shannon, he may be there handing out those Jesus callings and those things, and stuff. I mean, so I can, if you guys want, I can kind of spearhead that piece of it and just make sure that gets taken care of, whatever it is we hand out. Yeah.
The other big question is, how many bags and quantity are we gonna commit to? Because those prices, there was a couple things that could serve up to 100, but most of them were in the 50 range,
Yeah.
as far as the toiletries.
We were thinking around 50 range. based
Yeah, I think 50 is the maximum number of these things we'd make. 50 is probably a good number to shoot at, yeah. Because I believe when Valley Catering, I was wishing Joe was going to be here. I believe when Valley Catering does their stuff, it's 40 that they do. So I think 50 should be a good number.
Are we looking at doing this on a somewhat regular basis, either monthly, quarterly, or something? Because, these are consumables, but it also gives us an open door to continue ministry, not just, here, have some stuff kind of thing.
Right. It's a good question. So the way I'm thinking about it right now, and you all could certainly just weigh in as you want, is I think we're doing this one, and no, this is not a plan to do anything. We're just doing this one, and then I think we can come back together and talk about how did this go, and just ask where's their need and what's helpful, and just keep looking at if there's something that does provide some real help or some impact in a positive way, then I think we look at doing it on some kind of basis, some kind of more regular basis. So, yeah.
How are they going to get here?
Well, the Harry Reich is the manager of the men's shelter there, and he's the guy that Jonathan and I were spending some time talking to, and he said the location here was pretty good because he said since we're kind of targeting a lot of the people who are at the men's shelter there, he said that most guys could walk, ride their bike, or have transportation and get through here. And so he seemed to think that would be doable.
And they know where this is.
Well, we would put some kind of, we would do that with Harry Reich. We would give a flyer or something that tells them and everything, yeah. Yeah, and we could use sandwich boards if we want to help people to.
Stand out on the street and go.
Right. We'll probably, if anything, we'll probably put a sandwich board. We'll probably ask Dutch Bros if they'll let us put a sandwich board out there, and then one like by Nancy's house or something, and then you're good, you know. As far as just arrows, so they just see boop, boop, and that's because they already know, they're already on 3rd Street, so they just need 2 boards to get over, pretty much. Yeah.
I was gonna say, it might be maybe more helpful to do the front so it's visible to traffic and just put up awnings, you know, and then.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do the whole thing right here in the front yard. Yeah. Then you just have to come, exactly. Then you don't have to come into the back through the, yeah, that's actually much better drive-by right here. And that's what the youth outreach did, kind of a drive-by outreach kind of thing for Halloween here. And they just set up in the front here. And it worked good for people just to drive through. There was about 70 some people that came through, so. Yeah. I got those numbers right. Yeah.
I hate to mention this, but because I live in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
The crime has increased incredible.
Yeah.
Since they put that in there.
Yeah.
Well, you know where my house is.
Yeah.
And I don't know, with them all traipsing up and down. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a concern for you, and yeah, and I'm,
Because I've had people come try to get in the house.
yeah, well, and
And this has
turn
never
this off for a
happened
second.
in.
We should ask them for advice
Yeah.
at the Corvallis Police Department, but also, you know, in addition to letting them know, hey, we're gonna be doing this, but how would you prefer that we do this? Is there a better way? Or is there another location where we should just take this and have it be? Rather than bringing them down here into a neighborhood where people don't necessarily feel comfortable with them coming.
Sure.
I mean, that is a valid point. If we're gonna have them come all the way here, it's not anything more to have them come like to the Tunison shelter or to Avery Park. You know, we could set up there equally easy if we're concerned about that.
Sure. So we go ahead and look at some locations, and Sandy, maybe when you were calling this week, could be calling Corvallis Parks and Rec and finding out what locations we could set up some of our canopies here and do it right there, you know, and stuff. And okay, what else? What, somebody reading? Yeah, what?
Oh, I was just gonna say that parking lot by the, it used to be the skate park, is it still? That big old parking lot there underneath the bridge is, I see people like,
Okay, so just possibly talking to Corvallis Parks and Recs or something about setting up right there by the skate park downtown, which is right there by them, yeah.
Set up underneath the overpass there.
Yeah, set up by the overpass, sure.
I think that we should look at having these meetings somewhat frequently, because our brains are cruising, and because we have a short window, we need to address these issues that our brains are gonna be triggered
Okay, so you're trying to say do a follow-up meeting here? So maybe,
somewhat soon,
yeah,
so we can have time to address.
so maybe we can do, would you guys like to do a follow-up meeting to this to see where we're at with our progress on,
I know, it's like, it's 2 weeks.
He's got 2.5 weeks.
I would like a follow-up, just because
so I was thinking, well, we can't do it Tuesday, there's a board meeting, Thursday night possibly.
Shouldn't we be ordering stuff because of, shipping and?
Yeah.
That's why I like on the Amazon, because it can, I think, come like 2 days.
Yeah, so probably, it sounds like, so just correct me if I'm wrong here, it sounds like we're pretty clear on these items, so we can order those right away. So we can start with that, that way it's on its way, so we'll check that, and then what did you want to say?
I was just gonna say that if we set up under the bridge by the skate park, I think we would have larger numbers or a larger visibility and demand. So, like when we're setting up here, we're not gonna get even the full 40 people. But if we go down there, then 50 might be not enough.
Sure. Yeah, and with this being a certified daycare, I did consult youth outreach about this, telling them kind of how we were thinking of doing it and all that, and that we were going to be careful. And they're okay with it, but I think, yeah, if you can avoid them being near the certified daycare and all that, because that's really the thing that stopped us from doing a lot of different homeless stuff that we were doing, like the trailer in the parking lot and trying to help people transition. All that it really caused, we just couldn't do it with the youth outreach. It caused too many liabilities, and so the families that are in need of youth outreach services, it threatens that. So we just couldn't do that. It's not really much of an option there. So
it sounds like somewhere else is a good option.
somewhere else might be helpful with all these things in mind. Yeah, whoever would be willing to, I guess, Sandy, just call them Corvallis, Parks and Rec, and finding out what would it take for us to set up there by the, would it be possible to set up by the skate park, and then just asking and saying, okay, because we have the budget we have, like we're going to have whatever budget we have. So it might be that if we make 50, that just might be what we have, unless we can go get more funding. So yeah.
I personally really like the idea of Avery or something like that a whole lot better than setting up by the skate park. So set up by the skate park, then the people who are down there skating are going to think, oh, there's some food over here, and they may not even be the homeless.
Right.
You know, so I like the
we could coordinate something that's through the men's shelter and tell them where to go.
right,
Yeah.
right.
How do you get permission to do that at Avery Park? You have to call
Corvallis Parks and Rec. I know Avery Park is Corvallis Parks and Rec.
Park, just as you're on Philomath Boulevard and you're gonna take the exit to go downtown, that park there, and I can't think of the name of it.
I know what you're talking about.
Pioneer Park, yes. Is that part of Parks and Rec, you think?
Well, and Pioneer Park is real connected to a lot of the throughways of the homeless and transient community. So I'm betting Pioneer Park would be a very good location that way. Yeah.
Yeah, right now it's full of RVs.
Really? So is that have they made an extension of the homeless?
From, like he said, it could be from people from fires. It could be something they've opened up for them. I don't know if it's like the traditional homeless rather than survivors of or evacuees of fire. I don't know who's there. I just know it's full of RVs.
Yeah, okay. Still right now, for sure.
Right now, yes,
Okay.
I saw them yesterday.
Okay, if we're going to go another place, then we need to increase the bags, don't we?
Well, possibly. That's what we're talking about, because like we said, by the skate park, I think Jonathan was right. I think you're going to get possibly even more, but you'll just get some of the other population that we may not even be, who knows, we may not be shooting to help as much. Some of these other locations, if we coordinate another location like Avery Park or something, whatever location we do, as long as it's within walking distance, kind of like the church is, as long as it's within walking distance and biking distance for them, we have already talked to Harry Reich, the manager, and he said, yeah, he would love to put up flyers and direct them so they know where it is. So that's going to be flexible. Yeah, Pioneer or Avery are both good probably.
So if you're gonna order stuff, can you let us know when you order it so we can give you a check or whatever? For our,
So just so you know, it'll come out of the church. So like if she orders it, for instance, she'll either use a church card or she'll order it and we'll get a reimbursement to her right away. So all of your money, this will all be transitioned, padded by the church, and then you can just give to the church. So yeah, it just makes it simpler. Gives us greater flexibility. Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm giving it to you because my time will.
and then, the other question I had, so once we get this all settled, I wanna know, I have the day before Thanksgiving off, how can I help prepare or whatever? So I just,
Yeah, I think we were thinking to do it the Saturday or Sunday before Thanksgiving. So we need to settle on a date right now. So why don't we go ahead and talk about that right now? Do you have any dates that the crews at Antioch and them would prefer?
I think just a firm date.
A firm date, yeah. So,
Saturday might be better than Sunday, but.
yeah. I would say Saturday afternoon, evening, in my opinion, would be best, 2 weeks from yesterday. So is there anybody who that's a problem for them to do the Saturday before Thanksgiving? That is the 21st? Is it the 21st? Yep, it's the 21st.
I'll just have to, because I'm gonna be, I take care of my mom, so I'm just gonna have to stay. I could be there for a couple hours.
Yeah, and that's probably how long this is going to be, is an hour or two maximum. It's probably 2 hours maximum. So were you saying something?
Yeah, so the details that need, yeah, the 21st. So the details would be, we need people putting together the blessing bags, assembling it. Then we need people donating the food, cooking the turkeys, and then assembling the food in the bags. So it's gonna be a lot of prep beforehand.
Should, like, I guess, do we need to establish what needs to be done beforehand so that this prep time is just like assembly, like we're just putting stuff together?
And I can volunteer like a couple hours evenings or whatever.
Sure.
It might be good to try to set those, because those are even earlier than the 21st.
Right, right.
But we don't want it too far before because we don't want the turkey to be like 4 days old.
I would think Friday.
So, well, and this is the other thing is, I mean, unless it's just like this makes it way too long of a day, you could do it. Yeah, you could do it Friday evening or you could do it Saturday morning, and then we just take it out Saturday afternoon. So, what I guess just should we just go between those two options and take a vote between Friday night and Saturday morning?
Yeah, and what I thought, and again, I have never done something like this before, so, like, it would be nice, like, maybe I could work with Tara. We could sit down and get fine details on how long it's gonna take and who needs to do what.
And Jen said she'd assist you too if you need it.
Okay, and so I need a list of people who are interested in doing something.
Yeah.
And then we could put together what needs to be done and then see who signs up for what.
And like a list of food
Yeah.
needed.
Yeah.
So is there anybody here who would not like to be included on that list of people who we would contact about volunteering through that? Does everybody here want to be included on that? Okay, so since nobody said exclude, we're just going to include the people who are here. So that is, because we're recording, so I can get Jen to take any extra notes. So it's Jonathan Alfson, Joe Kimmel, Rebecca Miller, Nancy, Sherry, John Valinga, Matt Allard, Tricia, Tara, Sandy, and I don't know, Hank, you're taking notes. Okay, Hank. And there may be a couple others, and my boys who are getting volunteered. Yes. Uh-huh.
So, do we send Sandy, is this gonna be a group text where we send Sandy our availability? Like, I'm only available like 6:30 Friday evening on, and then Saturday.
So what we'll do is something like Sign Up Genius or something that just makes it so that we kind of like work through that stuff, and then we send out a link, and then you'll just like, here's your availability, blah, 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 and somebody else's availability, blah, 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 you know. So right now it'd probably be good. It'd be really helpful to get a final time and day that we are trying to do the actual outreach. And so I'd like to propose Saturday the 21st from 4 to 6. No. Saturday the 21st from, or we could do like 3 to 5 or something, but that would be for the actual going out there and doing this.
So are we assembling the day before or the morning of?
So hold on, everybody. I'm just trying to set when we can actually do it so that we can then set all those prep times. Does that make sense? So 3 to 5? If you want, we could even do 2 to 4. It'll be dark close to 4:30. So 2 to 4? Yep.
Well, didn't we establish that they have a breakfast meal and a dinner meal at the other places? I was thinking more of a lunch, like 12 to 2. Then you have breakdown and.
No, Saturdays they have 11 to noon. They don't have an evening thing. So I think this would be better 2 to 4. 2 to 4 is a better time. And it's a take with you thing, so they'll have it for 5 or 6 if they want to use. So they already have that day the thing in town. There's a hot meal every day, right? On Saturday, if I remember correctly, it's 11 a.m. that they have it. It's just up till noon. So what's that? Up to 11. Okay, so this I think would be better in the afternoon. So yeah.
Plus, our main focus is the other stuff, but they're getting some food as a bonus.
Yes.
Packed lunch anyway, so
Right. So yeah.
they can eat it anytime.
Friday evening is good for prep, and then some Saturday AM, whatever we don't.
So let's finalize for sure. Are we all, who's in favor of Saturday the 21st, 2 to 4 p.m.? Okay, cool. So that's the final time, Saturday the 21st, 2 to 4. This is really going to be helpful because he can tell now the people at Antioch and Karis and other stuff, because we have other volunteers who might get contacted about this. So now that we've set that, we'll just say, when do we need to set times leading up to that to be ready for this? And so doing it 2 o'clock, I guess just asking, show of hands, who would prefer to do it the same day so that you can do food and all the stuff all the same time? Who would prefer same day? Well, I agree, but where are you going to put all the food? Yeah.
I think that we can do the food the same day, but I think the other stuff need to be prepped previously.
Okay, so maybe what we do is look at Friday night prepping the other stuff, and then Saturday coming and finalizing the food, and then going out and do it.
Don't put it all too much.
Yeah.
No, and just do an assembly line to make the sandwiches, bags,
Yeah.
sacks.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And play Christmas music or something like that. No, I'm just kidding. Have fun with it. Yeah. So Friday, so who does it work to do that? Now, considering these bags, there's nothing perishable in them. So really, we don't need to do them Friday. We could do them earlier in the week if everybody liked to. I think as long as we can store them, we could do that Thursday or Sunday or something, you know. So, yeah. So now, granted, this is any other day than Friday night. Yeah. Right. Tuesday, Wednesday. What's that? Friday's best for you. And Friday's better for us than some days. I mean, we've got stuff Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday between house church and all that. And so we'll just ask this. Let's see. And the Sunday beforehand, is that Sunday beforehand is family meeting? So that kind of makes it a long day already. That was the other things I was going to say, well, we could all go have lunch or whatever and come together that Sunday beforehand in the evening or something. But
And really, in theory, I'm thinking if we're doing like 50, 60, kind of that range for the supplies, the hygiene products, 2 or 3 people could whip it out and nothing. That's not hardly anything. Assembly line purposes.
That's good, but I'm hoping more people come, because then it's just like hardly any time.
What about after family church on Wednesday? We're already going to be here. If we just bring it,
right. So
make it too long.
Yeah, people just get uninvested.
yeah, sure. No, I hear what you're saying. It's kind of a question of, I guess, just asking best guesses, Sandy, since you're the most you're the most aware of all the different pieces in that helping bag. What would be your guess? Let's say that you had, let's say you had a good showing, like you had 8 people. How long do you think it would take? That might be too many, but how long do you think an hour? Yeah, so that's part of the reason why it may not be insane. Like we could also end house church a little bit early if you were to do Wednesday night, and you could do from 7:45 to 8:45. Am I thinking that right? Yeah. If you wanted, it's a little bit late, but so. Okay. Okay, so Friday, let's say Friday from like, would you guys like to get together? 6:30 is the earliest you can do. So 6:30 or 7 then. Let's just say 6:30. Let's make it 6:30, and if you guys are a little late, it's fine. The rest of us can get started, So 6:30 on Friday night before the 20th. Yep, Friday night. So now you can put that for people too if they want. Friday night, 6:30 p.m. here, the 20th, November 20th. 6:30? Yes, 6:30 p.m. Friday night, the 21st. Yes.
And also a morning or early afternoon prep for the food.
Yeah, so that's the next question. Once everybody's put that down, we've got that time down. The next question is, how long do we think we need to prep that food in these bags at a number of 50? 50 of them.
Probably take you 5 minutes one day.
Okay.
Times 50.
Times 10. So maybe, let's say an hour and a half to be safe, 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Or even say 2. Yeah.
2, let's say 2 hours. Because we're probably going to have a good number of volunteers, yeah.
Doing that Saturday morning.
That's what we're figuring out. What are you saying?
Is it a situation where you're cutting up turkeys that are already cut, like cooked, or?
Whoever volunteers to bake the turkey will slice it so that it's in sandwich-sized slices.
Okay.
There's a real neat technique, and I have to look it up, but it's really a nice way to slice a turkey really quick and whatever, but, I think.
So we're going to look for a volunteer to cook a turkey and slice it and bring it pre-sliced.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So we'll need volunteers for 2 or 3 turkeys.
How many pounds of turkey for sandwich kind of thing, whatever.
And let me tell you, if you're going to slice it up for a sandwich, oh man, it's nice if you brine it, because a brine turkey tastes more like what you think of as a deli turkey. Anyway. But that's secondary, I know.
Yeah, if somebody's I don't know how to brine a turkey, so I wouldn't be one who did that. Okay, you can volunteer for one, right? Yeah.
will definitely volunteer for one,
Yes, but I forgot what I was going to say. What was-
Okay, so what you're saying though is that we're gonna take the whole thing that way. So the main things, if you volunteer to take a turkey, you're gonna cook the turkey, you're gonna cut it up, you're gonna bag it and bring it. So really, when we get here, we're pretty much just assembling. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay, cool. So then.
I always have some gloves on hands when people are making them.
Yep. So I would say then, let's say let's say that pretty much all of us are showing up on the day of to help out. Probably several of us could help with assembling. It'll be a lot of cooks in the kitchen to have all of us, and the rest of us could be going and setting up the canopies and that stuff. So then we all get together at 11:30 in the morning or something like that, or noon, and then we are set up to start the thing at 2-ish. Does that sound good? So maybe 11:30 to give a half hour besides that 2-hour process. So does that sound good? 11:30 a.m. Saturday, November 22nd, to assemble food and do setup. Did I say 20 what? Excuse me. Saturday the 21st of November at 11:30 a.m. here we meet, and a chunk of us are, and whoever is going to assign food is going to have food. You bring your food items cooked and sliced or prepped in those ways, and we just assemble here. And a chunk of us are going to be here, however many is effective, assembling, and the other ones are going to go set up canopies and those things. Yes, set up site.
I heard a few people say different times to meet in the morning besides 11:30, so it's just Nancy and John.
I think. Right.
So are you guys saying it'd be better to do 11? Okay, nobody else say any other times, please. 11 a.m. Saturday, November 21st. It's now 11 a.m. on Saturday. No other time said unless you want to have a discussion about it. Okay. Okay? Good. Yes.
Can I bring something at 10 and leave it here? Because I have got to go and pick up my husband from work at 11:30.
Yeah, well, yeah, and if somebody's here at 11, then yeah, you'll be able to bring it yeah. We'll be able to work something out, yeah.
Can we have a sandwich while we're here?
Yeah. So it'd be good to make enough to where maybe those of us who are here could eat lunch or something would be nice. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so maybe it'd be good to just surplus it by a little bit for volunteers.
I have a whole bunch of nitrile gloves that I'll bring, but they're all small.
Yeah, I was gonna get
Okay.
larger ones.
Sure. So you'll get.
I have some larger ones that I bought for cleaning, and they just absolutely drive me crazy. I want to throw them away, but I know I shouldn't.
How many is it?
Oh, probably 100.
So gloves. Tara's gonna bring 100. What size? Medium, small, large. Tara's bringing 100. Matt's gonna bring smalls, and that's probably enough. Just those two. So there you go. So gloves are covered between Matt Allard and Tara. But it'd be good to write that down. Honey, are you guys writing those things down? Like, somebody needs to have those things down so that either you remind those people to bring it or those people are reminding themselves they know how to do that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll probably group text this group. So, yeah, thanks so much, Sherry. Yep. We're trying to close this up as quick as we can here. And so I think we're getting close on the food. Yep.
Details of what needs to happen and then send out
Send out some more
to
stuff.
everybody.
So that sounds good. And then we'll kind of get to the point where, so you're not ready right now to ask for different food items from different people.
No, because one, I want to see if we can get any donations.
Yeah. Donations first. Look for those.
But I think what we will do probably is ASAP today or tomorrow maybe, is send out who wants to volunteer to cook a turkey and see what we have, how many people we have to do that.
Yep.
And things like that we want a commitment to, and then we'll take the rest of it later, so. Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to ask if anybody has suggestions of food to go into the bag, because I don't know. It'd be fun to be creative and, okay, so we have a turkey sandwich, like carrot sticks and celery sticks.
I can do those.
Well, and a lot of times, I mean, carrots, you just buy them already, prep. But yes, putting them in a bag and, okay, so what other ideas? Obviously, we talked about
We're looking for ideas
right now. We're dessert.
not so far assigning everything. This is brainstorming of ideas. You got to keep the processes in the right focus. Apples, oranges, you saying? Did you say eggs and potato chips? Oh, bags of potato chips? Okay. I don't know why, they just made me think of potato salad, but crunchy, and I just, yeah. just. So what we might do, if you guys think about it, if anybody wants to get Pinteresty on this, Tara probably will. Didn't have a lot of great ideas. Yeah, we might think about, like, what are some ways of doing sack lunch that are Thanksgiving-ish and that are interesting and not just kind of your run-of-the-mill everything. So, yes. Yep.
I will bring some disposable masks, because one of the things with prepping food is people will accidentally adjust themselves. We need to change that mask as soon as you do, and change your gloves as soon as you do. So I'll bring more. We should be wearing disposable masks, because you'll be changing those out.
Thanks, John. Okay. Okay, so I think, yeah. Right, so I'm going to contact Brett Shannon. So, yep, now I have something to tell him. So,
I figured once we were done, I was going to ask some questions I have from my notes.
okay. So Sandy, it sounds to me like we've mostly exhausted what makes sense to do. Like there's just so much that makes sense to do at a given time, and then you have to go and do other work and then bring it back together. So what I'd like to do is let's look for the next date that we're all gonna kind of connect and stuff. It might be, there's a chance that we might be able to get most of the next stuff figured out via group text. There are a lot of things that can get taken care of via group text. And if needed, we could tentatively set a time to reconnect. And maybe that time to reconnect could be Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Or something like that, or 7:15 for like half an hour, from 7:15 to 7:30, something like that. How does yes?
So, I guess my first question on a date is, Sandy, how much time do you think you need to look up, like, potential locations, kind of food options, food donation and stuff? Like, does Thursday give you enough time for us to really have a lot of those?
Yeah, because I think,
Yeah.
we're gonna know when we are not, it's just a phone call and we're gonna know. And so, the biggie, the biggie is the, Parks and Recs part of it. And as far as the donations of the turkey, whether they give us that or need to get back to us or whatever, we're still gonna get them. So that's kind of it's gonna happen whatever, so.
Yeah. So that I picked that day, Thursday, thinking probably give it 2 or 3 days. You have enough to get more of this. So let's do tentatively Thursday night on Zoom. Okay, we'll just send out a Zoom link. And if we get stuff figured out enough without it and with texting and all that, we're just not going to do it. Okay, because we don't want to add meetings unnecessarily. So let's do 7:15 and we will be done before 8 o'clock. Okay. Because we're getting better focus. So just keep that time between 7 and 8 p.m. on Thursday available in case we tentatively need to do this, okay? I know. So I said 7:15 because I'm hoping to do a workout that I could be back by 7:15 barely. Okay. So yes. Yeah, we weren't actually designed by God to breathe through something. We were designed to breathe there, but we're doing it to just take care of people. Exactly. So that's good. So I think we're done.
Wrapping up, I'd like to work through my list and make sure I'm kind of on track with everything.
Hank's gonna work through his list.
For the actual date, actually giving food away, I have Saturday, the 21st, 2 to 4 p.m. Friday night from 6:30, I put till 9 p.m. just to give us a extra large window. Yep. Prep bags. That morning, Saturday morning, we're going to do food bags. We need gloves, which is going to be covered between Matt Allard and Katara Kimmel. We need to have turkeys baked and sliced ahead of time, which we're going to reach out for volunteers at a later date. I need to delete
And anything
this.
that does need to be made ahead, we'll try to be as processed as possible ahead, as a principle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As far as like the location, we are currently leaning towards finding somewhere like Avery Park, Skate Park, Pioneer Park, something like that.
Yep.
Which Joe, Sandy are going to follow up with options there. In terms of budget, the church has tentatively approved $300. Any additional givings would pitch in more to that. So my understanding is that $300 is mostly towards the blessing bags. For food, is that more of a like volunteer basis? Like, hey, you person, please bring apples. The apples are on your dime. Is that kind of what we're doing for that,
So
or do we want to?
Food they would pay for. And if somebody could help
Or do
with
we-
food.
Or do we want to set aside any budget for?
So I would say,
Maybe $50,
Yeah, so. Right, so I think we probably will need to look at, we'll probably, like, for instance, if, like we talked about everybody here giving 30 or whatever, that could go in, the church has already approved 300. If we each gave 30 or something like that, that could, if necessary, that could have increased our total budget to 600. So then you'd have an extra 300 for food and stuff. So I would just say, yeah, if I can, for instance, go out and buy a turkey and prep it and just pay for it, I will. And if somebody can do the work, but they can't pay for it, that's okay. We'll reimburse through the church up to the $300. We'll try to keep it within $300, which should be doable. But if we can look for 10 people to give $30, that'll give us more budget. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess my thought too was like if I say like, yeah, I'm gonna bring carrots or whatever, like I'm not gonna try and get reimbursed for that. I don't think most people will. Like if you bring food, more than likely you're just considering that a donation. But the real thing is like if we're saying, hey, somebody needs to run to cash and carry and pick up all of these things, that's when we want to reimburse somebody. And so I think if we just have some kind of money set aside for that.
Like one turkey is reasonable. If somebody has to go out and buy 10 turkeys, that can be challenging. So yeah, especially for the turkeys. So yeah, not the funniest joke. I got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's right. You have more notes though, so we'll just call that good.
I have just notes for days. For food, the menu, our menu of one thing you can have. Turkey sandwich, probably on hoagies, turkey slices, include ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise packets, probably. Side, we have some ideas: carrots, celery, apples, oranges, bags of potato chips. More may arise. Dessert, we have something like cookies or candy, something sweet, homemade pumpkin bars. For a fluid,
Those lemon bars.
I'll just add a lemon bars.
Those are so.
I have water bottles. I also had a question mark about like cider packets, but that's kind of dependent on hot water access. Maybe water bottles are just the way to go for a drink. Do we want to like consider like giving people soda or just no? All right, water bottles, simple, easy. And then our blessing bag, I'm saying that's just kind of accounted for.
Yeah.
Sandy knows what to do on
Sandy
that.
knows how to order those. Yep, we're good.
I have it saved, and so, yeah, if you want to go with that.
So there's no way to get like black or blue?
I didn't understand. I'll keep looking.
Yeah, I think so. Our follow-up meeting to this, presuming we need, is Thursday on Zoom, the 12th, 7 to 8 p.m.-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, if necessary.
Did you put in there the prep on Saturday? You might have said it. Okay.
Saturday, 11 a.m. and Friday, 6:30 p.m. He already said that. And did you have something else that you and Tara were?
I was just confirming about the sports bags.
Sports bags. Got it. Okay.
There's only two other things. The flyers to notify the homeless
Yeah,
need to be
flyers.
made up, so that's
And
one
Jen and I
thing.
can do that.
Okay, and then also
You
I
get
was,
Jen and Joe for flyers to the homeless shelter with Harry Reich. Yep.
and then and I was just kind of throwing out, maybe possibly making up a message from Southside or a Bible verse or something, and just make labels, because you can just print labels out and put them on either the goodie bags or the lunch sack or something, so it personalizes it. And it seems like you could just like put the address label thing in the printer, print out what you want. And
You can make that all Jen and I. Some kind of message, some kind of possible label printing, blah, 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 to go with, along with Brett Shannon and the whatever spiritual messages or gifts. That's all me. So you can just put that on there. Okay, thanks, Sandy.
Do we have freezer space at the church?
Freezer space? Oh, do we have freezer space at the church? We used to have a commercial freezer and it was sold. Huh?
Can we use the Loving freezer?
That's a good question. Oh, over here?
Yeah.
Let me check to see, first of all, if there's any room in it.
And keep in mind, there's probably gonna be 20-pound turkeys. Again, I wanna see how many we need. But, they take 4 to 5 days just to thaw out.
Yeah.
So you gotta figure a day.
Test
that
one,
it
two.
flies it, and then 4 or 5 days for it to just thaw out. So turkey should be back by next weekend.
Can't hear you. You're too far away.
And most probably not gonna be a freezer type of question.
I know that when coasts are giving away the turkeys and stuff, people end up spending $100 to get a turkey anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah, I was, like,
Right.
yeah, if I get one, I'll do that too.
so
Do you know when that's happening?
I think I saw a flyer yesterday, but I could be wrong.
Well, I'll keep it in mind, 'cause typically I.
Talk to the mic, nothing's coming through.
So it might be. Yeah, you're all. Well, it's not supposed to go through these speakers, right?
No, it's not supposed to come through these speakers.